Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing, YouTube? So today I want to talk about this video with Brother O'Shea.
No, the men are.
These are specific Facebook groups for men that document their experiences in other places.
No.
And when somebody comes in and posts
African women.
Africa, even the topic of Africa in general,
They don't like it.
they don't like it.
I'm trying to avoid saying the word anti-blackness.
Go ahead. It is.
Yeah.
All right, so in response to Brother O'Shea's video, Kanganda, I want to say that it isn't, I do agree that it is the passport bros, a lot of people in the groups only interested in Latin America and places where people have lighter skin. Light skin is something that I do hear them talk about a lot. But that's not just because we're Americans or the passport bros. That's every place in the Atlantic slave trade. All the places I lived in the Atlantic slave trade, Brazil, Colombia, DR, all those places have colorism as well. They're all conquered by the same people. They are the Americas. So people have to understand that, you know, even when you're going there, they have colorism even worse. Colorism and racism is even worse in Brazil than America, and they have a higher percentage of black people there. I was actually really let down by Brazil. The people there dye the hairs on their arms and legs blonde to appear more European. Those places have real Eurocentric standards. So people must understand that. It's a huge difference. Africa doesn't have that. Africa doesn't have really the Eurocentric standards in every place. Some places do, but they don't have real colorism. Even in Tanzania, yes, there are people that bleach their skin, but there is no difference in how you're treated from being light skin and dark skin. No one cares in Africa. In Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, no one cares if you're light skin or dark skin. South Africa is different. That place is America. So there is colorism and racism there, but that is America. The same people that settled in America settled there. So they implemented the same laws and shit. So that's the truth behind that. Now, as far as here, like I was saying, so Luz, here in Tanzania, do people care if you white like Bella or dark like me?
People, they don't care.
They don't care at all. Like Africa is more of a pro-black place. This is the best place for black people. But because of slavery and shit in the West, they put a bad name in Africa. Even when I was in Brazil, I would tell people about, hey, I'm gonna go try Africa and shit like that. And they're like, oh, why you going to that dirty place with those dirty people, you know? And if you think about it, Colombia, DR, those places, they try to lighten the race. It is like a known thing people talk about, lightening the race. Don't bring any black guys home. A lot of passport bros are just dealing with, I guess, like street urchins in like Latin America. You know, it's not really traditional women. They don't have both parents. It's a lot harder to find a girl in these Latin countries with both parents. And a lot of times too, they are with the same type black women in Latin America. It's just they speak Spanish and they are just so mentally blocked from understanding it's the same shit. You know, it's the same shit as America. These girls, those girls in those Latin countries are just pretending to like you for money. For the most part, there are some genuine people, yes. I'm not saying everyone isn't genuine, but Latin America is still America. Colorism and racism prevail there. In Rio de Janeiro, you won't see too many black people in Ipanema at nice Brazilian steakhouse restaurants. I didn't see any. And I was there for a total of like 4 months. It's finally here. It's finally here. Going back to passport bros in the Americas, I think another thing too, when it comes to Africans, we really don't know too much information about them in America. They kind of stay to themselves. Even in New York, where I'm from, you know, they try to maintain their traditions, you know. So I think that's another thing. It's just the unfamiliarity. But they may do that because they see the colorism in America, you know, and the West, other places, you know. Like I was surprised that people from like Sierra Leone, their parents and stuff like that in Brazil felt the way they did about Africans. People dark just like me in Brazil. And that's just real talk. I've experienced it firsthand. It's just the transatlantic slave trade. It destroyed black people in the West. Like how we perceive the color black. It's just not a positive reception. I'm speaking in generalizations. I'm not speaking in absolute. Like absolutely every black person in Brazil doesn't like black people. No. And I'm not saying they even know they have a problem with their race or their color. But there is a lot of self-hate implemented by the Anglo-Saxons.